Hey guys, I'm going to review the Nitecore LR30 camp lantern. Apologize for any background noise, got some kids playing here, and really it's the only chance I got to film this week, so we got to push through, guys. I apologize. So this is a simple kind of 3-mode camp lantern from Nitecore. It uses a single 18650 battery, or 2 CR123s, or 2 16340s, which are the RCR 123s. We'll go over the numbers real quick. First, your modes. You have a high, which is 205 lumens for 3.5 hours. Mid is 85 lumens for 8.5 hours. Low, 12 lumens for 62. Also has a red mode, which is 45 lumens for 8 hours. Beam distance is 20 meters, 1.5 meters impact resistance at IPX6 waterproof standard. Let's go over how this guy works real quick. It does have a battery meter. Single press will turn that on. It will do a series of blinks based on the voltage, and it will be usually one series and a pause in a second, and that could be like 3.8 volts. 3.7, for example, would be 3 pause then 7. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Long press to turn on, starts in low, medium, high. You can see this is actually a pretty bright little guy for what it is. Long again to turn it off. Double click brings you to red. Another click brings you to red blink, and long turns it off. That's it. Super simple, super easy, guys. So there is a little cord attachment here in the back for hanging. There's also a set of magnets in here, which I'll show you. So you have 2 options for mounting this. It's held together with this little plastic tab here. Pull that out and lift, and the magnets are strong enough where it usually pulls the battery out with it, so that is something to note. Here is the case. You see it has those 2 batteries built into it, just simple plastic. In here you have where your battery goes. You can see it has a positive and negative marked. The one section here is raised, so it should work with flat top batteries. So, you can see it has an O-ring, which gives it its waterproofing. Put your battery in there, and just very simply hook it on. And it will often pull the battery out, which is what you heard, but it will snap back into place once you do that. Alright, so as I mentioned, magnetic base, so that is pretty cool. This works really great as a work light, amongst other things as well. You know, I tried this out in various different places, from putting it on the gun safe to putting it in the wheel well of the car. Little issues of balancing, because there are 2 magnets, so if you don't kind of catch it just right, it can be a little tricky getting it to stay put. So what we're going to do real quick here is show you this versus a cheap $7 lantern, and then we're going to cut in some footage of this being used real world. So, oops. Alright, so there's your low, and there goes a toy. So here's a cheap camping lantern on its low mode, and that's like a $7 camp lantern. You can already see this thing's getting pretty massively outclassed. So that is the difference between your cheap $7 lantern and the Nitecore LR30. You can see massive difference in lumens, brightness, and how the light spreads out. So we'll turn that off so you can see just the one. Now we're going to turn this one off. Oop. And go back to this. And you can see just the intensity of that light. Very bright, very awesome, very handy. And we're going to cut in some footage now. See this guy in use.